Okay friends, thanks for watching this Diagnostic World video. What we're going to show you today is hopefully the differences between the F30, the pre-facelift and the actual facelift. So we're going to go through first of all the exterior of the car, then we'll go on to the interior of the car. First of all, I do have a little bit of written information with regards to what the actual differences are, so I'm going to go through these and see if we can spot them. The differences to the exterior, a lot of people do have trouble finding what the differences are. That's because the differences are very, very small and very tiny, and probably not even noticeable unless it's pointed out. So this is the 2012, so this was the first one to go off the production line for the touring car, that is. This is obviously the Saloon, so that's the F30, that's the F31. Only difference is, obviously, that's the estate car and that's the saloon car. But we'll come to that. So first of all, the lights are different. A new halogen design light with LED daytime running lights. So this is the original lights, and these are the updated lights. So what I'll do is I'll put both of these lights on. Okay, so these are the pre-facelift lights. Very bright, still really quite nice. And we move over to the facelift lights. So you can see the only real difference is this sort of bar which runs across into the front centre grille there. Not a great deal of difference between them. I should have really got these cars a little bit closer together, but that's okay. Alright, so the next thing is that apparently the lower grills are wider on the facelift. So we're looking at these grills here as opposed to the grills on this one here. Now, looking at them like that, you just can't see any difference whatsoever. But we are led to believe that the grills on the facelift are a little bit wider. What else have we got? A new, more intricate styling of the central air intake. Well, again, it looks exactly the same. Okay, so we'll move to the rear of the vehicle. And the rear lights, although they look exactly the same in shape, that's an older style light, that's the new style light. These are LED lights, so you'll see the indicator or the reverse light here. On this one here, it's higher up, so it's just an all-round better lighting system on the facelift. Now, one thing you may have noticed is that the rear of this vehicle has actually been in an accident. I'll come to that. I'm going to cover that in a completely different video, so obviously that's a little bit different. One thing you might notice as well is that well, that seems to be quite glossy. I was going to say that is more of a matte, but this one, it's just exactly the same. So obviously the exhaust is different on the upgrade as well. That's a twin pipe, that's a single pipe. I'm not sure whether that's actually an option or not. But they are different. Obviously, because this is the estate car, this has the roof rails along the top. That one doesn't. The roof bars on this one are an option, so you have to buy those separately. So I think we'll move into the interior of the car now. So this car doesn't have sat-nav, and as you can see, it's a smaller screen, whereas the facelift has a much bigger screen, and it does have a lot more options. So we've got the navigation here. Just go straight into your map. Tells you everything. The button here is bigger. I'm not sure whether that's just because it has the navigation option as opposed to the round button on the pre-facelift, which is a lot smaller. So on the pre-facelift, this section here is more of a matte finish, whereas the facelift has a much more glossy finish around here. This stays the same, the blue piping stays the same. One thing I have noticed about this is that the USB port has shifted in the facelift to the front here, where it's a lot more accessible. In the pre-facelift, you can see it's not there, it's actually right in here. And it's so annoying and very un-user friendly if you wanted to plug something in while actually on the move. In the pre-facelift vehicle, we do have cup holders, but you have to slide this out and the cup holders become clear, and this little button slides up here, and then you've got your cigarette lighter there. So you've got two cup holders there, but this is a removable tray which just slots back in. This is for the pre-facelift, and in the facelift model we've got a little tray here, but this actually slides. You've got two cup holders and then your cigarette lighter right there. Alright, so let's see if we can start the cars up. So this is the manual car, this is the pre-facelift. So what we need to do is we need to put it in neutral, put the clutch down, and then press start. All pretty straightforward stuff. Fuel, miles per hour, rev counter, engine temperature. And now on to the facelift. This is an automatic vehicle, so what we need to do is this: put the foot on the brake, on this little button here, press the unlock. In fact, no, don't need to do that. Put the foot on the brake and just press the start. Now immediately there is a small difference, whereas this part here tells us your current miles per gallon. It's got a little blue efficient dynamics with a blue battery right there. That is basically when you're driving along, and if this light, if this blue thing illuminates here, it's telling us that it's actually charging the battery. Not a battery to actually give you power to drive the car or as a replacement for petrol or diesel, but it's charging the actual battery, which is connected to the alternator, and that charges when you are braking and say for example coasting. I think they call it something like regenerative braking or charging or something like that. Again, we've got the same modes. We've got the Sport and the Eco Pro mode, but if you did want to sort of set off driving in this one, you simply press the unlock button and down into drive, and then you're ready to go. Alternatively, just pop it back into neutral if you're not ready to go. This car as well, with it being the automatic, has the paddle shifts, so it's an 8-speed, whereas the pre-facelift is a 6-speed. Alright, so let's take a look at these cars with the full main beam on. That's the pre-facelift. And this is the facelift. Okay, so a quick look inside the engine bay. This is the pre-facelift. Has a logo on there, twin power turbo. They're both 320 diesel M Sports. Twin power turbo. This engine cover, obviously a lot smaller, so just taking another quick look at the facelift, and we'll go back to the pre-facelift. Pretty identical, like I say, apart from a few small changes. As this cover here seems to be a lot wider, and the oil cap comes out wider on the pre-facelift, as opposed to a more of a central on the facelift. Okay, so let's take a look at the boot space for these cars. First of all, we'll look at the pre-facelift. It is obviously very messy. This car has recently been away on a family trip. It's got a good luggage space, and I know they're different cars, but I just really wanted to show you it for the sake of the video. Both boot lids have ample space. Don't have the exact figures on me, but there you go. Obviously the alloys are different on these cars. The alloys are an option. So let's just do a little bit of a walk around, and then we'll tie up the video. Just trying to think if there's anything else that I've really kind of forgot about. Don't think there is. Rather, I mean, there are a few tiny other interior changes, like I think there's a change to the design of the seat belts. Some of the black plastic trim has been replaced with chrome trim. For example, you'll see on the facelift car here, we have a bit of chrome trim right there. And then we'll go around to the pre-facelift and I'll show you the difference. There we go, so that's more of a black matte finish there. Essentially though, there's not a great deal of difference between the two vehicles. Oh, while I'm on, quick plug, literally plug. This is the iCarsoft i910 kit. It's a great little diagnostic tool for any BMW. It is available at Diagnostic World. It's www.diagnostic-world.com. Put that in there. And that's about it, folks. As I say, this one's been in an accident within the past week, so I'm going to, well, I've already made a video on how that's occurred, and that will be, well, I don't know when I'm going to put that up. I want to make sure everything's finalised with the insurance and all matters regarding that before I put the video on. So thanks for watching this Diagnostic World video. Please just click on the subscribe button. It'll be really helpful for the channel. Like the video, and I'll see you next time. Hope this helps.